All right. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having
Absolutely.
me.
We'll start out where everyone else does. As far as earliest childhood memory, what are we getting into?
This was tough because I remember you like mentioning it at nature class, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Ooh, that's like so tough." I like really had to like I don't know think back in the archives. But
Uh,
okay, what I came up with was I have like a memory of being in preschool. So this is like 3 year preschool maybe,
Okay.
standing at the water table, just having the time of my life. I just like remember like really having a great time at the water table in preschool with my friends. Like that's kind of like the earliest memory I could come up with.
That's fantastic. Yeah, the joy you had at a water table just it sticks with you.
Yeah, it's like so random, but I was like, for some reason, I feel like if like everything else was like later than that, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's pretty early for yeah.
So you had preschool and then elementary school. What was going as far, did you enjoy school? What did we like about the younger years of school for us?
I really like school.
Okay.
I always like school. I always like learning. I went to like a private Catholic school like my whole life.
Oh, what is
Till high
that
school.
locally or
In Hoffman Estates.
okay?
So not that far. Yeah, not that far.
I just remember the only one I remember is the Rosemary and Marmion were the two that were near us, and then
Oh,
St.
yeah.
Francis I think was the only other ones that I remember.
Yeah, that's like elementary. I was at a private school, but then I went to Schaumburg High School.
Gotcha,
So
gotcha.
that's like, yeah, that was more.
So, did your parents prioritize the private school for a particular reason? Did you find out?
Oh, yeah, I think they prioritized it just because like they were both raised Catholic.
Okay.
So it was like a Irish Catholic family on both sides situation.
What does what looks different in school at that young age? Because I feel like that's kind of when they were taking the paddle out of the classroom, or was that still something that was in the classroom?
No, no, that was out
That's
of the
good.
classroom. No, no, just like it was honestly such a great experience. I can't say anything bad about it. Like, I mean, we had like maybe one really strict Spanish teacher who would
Yeah.
like, if we didn't say the word right, like she would make us write it like 50 times. Like, and like that was like the worst punishment I think that anybody ever got. Like,
Hey, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
yeah.
Did you play any sports in elementary school? What was going on there?
Oh yeah. Always playing sports. Like I think I always played softball like my whole life. That was like my main sport. And then I played basketball and volleyball too.
Okay, so when you start playing softball, does it start off as like t-ball and baseball with the boys, or where's the segmentation start?
No, I think it was always girls softball.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that that was I'm trying I remember on my sister had some friends that she played with and they always played baseball with the boys. But then when they would get to high school, they're like, nope, you gotta play softball. And they're like, I don't know how to play softball. This is a this is a much different game.
Yeah. I feel like my yeah, my cousin like played baseball. I guess maybe it was like what the park district offered at that time,
Okay.
or if it was like a growing community, or if it was more established, if they had like softball and baseball or just baseball. So
Yeah.
yeah, maybe that's what.
Were you always in sports after school, or were you allowed to horse around afterwards and just hang around the kids after school at some time?
Both. I think it was both. Yeah, I was
Okay.
like lucky. It wasn't like super overpowering or stressful. I felt like it was always like whatever we wanted to do. But like, yeah, we lived in a court. Like I grew up in, like a court
Yeah.
cul-de-sac, and like, we would always like play with the kids in the court, and like that was really fun. But then like, yeah, we would have practices and games, but it was never like something that I didn't want to do.
Yeah. I've had a wide range of people on here as far as age goes, and I'm trying to figure out at what age did they stop letting kids outside to play.
That's tough. That's totally a
Yeah.
thing.
I had one girl on, I think she's 2021. But she was at 11, went to the Olympic Training Center
Okay.
to do it's called artistic swimming now. So she didn't really have that much time to go outside because she was swimming, but
Mhm.
I'm trying to find where that cutoff was when the parents were like, I don't know about being outside and all that.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah. I mean, I'm 34 now. It's going to be 34 in a week or two. So, but yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I was still outside after
I was
school,
still
which was
outside.
great. Yeah, yeah.
Um, at a young age, do you remember going on vacations? And then if so, which ones did you enjoy?
Yes, we would go on vacations every year. We had like a family tradition and it's still going strong. I'm happy to report. We go to the Dells like in
Oh, nice.
Wisconsin for a week every summer.
Okay.
It's an annual Dells trip with like my cousins, aunts, uncles, and it's like awesome. So every year we go, and it's just like a big family reunion, and we usually stay on the lake, and
Okay.
you could like do beach swimming things, or you could go do like the Dells things, like
Yeah.
do the go karts or like Mount Olympus or Noah's Ark or like all those fun things. So now it's fun because I can bring the kids.
Is that like the Kalahari and stuff like that?
Yes,
Is that
yeah,
okay?
yeah.
You must
Oh,
have really seen that place develop then if you've been going for a while.
oh yeah. I feel like I've seen the evolution of the Dells for sure.
Yeah.
But it's great. Like it's fun now because we go like we're going to be leaving in a week and change, and like my daughter talks about it like all year round. Like she can't
Really?
wait till vacation. Like in her mind, that's the only vacation. Like so that's always like the big one that we've done like every year I've been living.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we had other ones like we did like one big Disney trip one year that was really fun. But we didn't do a lot of like far trips. Everything was like otherwise local to the Midwest. We
Yeah.
didn't really travel.
How did your parents pick the Dells?
I don't know. I think that actually like they grew up going there when they
Wow.
were little. So this is just like getting passed down.
That's wild. I
And
didn't
like
know
my
it's
dad
been
will,
around that long.
oh yeah, oh no, I know. And like my dad will be like, oh yeah, that's where we used to stay when we were little. Like every year when we drive past it, I'm like, oh my gosh, such a like long-standing tradition that's just still going strong.
That's super cool. We went
Yeah.
to Minnesota to visit my wife's brother, and we went right past the Dells, and it's like this place is massive. And then she pointed out a trailer park in which she used to go with her dad, and they would just fish all day. And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"You had to get driven past the Dells." She's like, "It's fine. I just tanned all day. It was fine."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's hard to miss, that's for
Yeah.
sure when you're driving
So,
there.
did you have a big family growing up? What about the Dells was so special for you?
I mean, well, we did have a big family. I mean, like on that's like because my mom and dad are together, but that was my dad's side that would always go up to the Dells, and he was one of five. And then like everybody had was all of his siblings were married, had kids, so like there was a lot of cousins, and then so it was
Nice.
just like it was just fun because all of us were the same age, like, and I was on like the younger end of that spectrum because my dad was the youngest, so like
Yeah.
I had older cousins, and they would always be like doing a bunch of like silly shenanigans that they shouldn't be doing. But like it was always just like really fun because the parents would want to do their own thing and then the kids could do their own thing. And like
Yeah.
it was just like, I don't know, it's just always really fun.
No, that's fantastic. I feel like we need to bring back bigger families, but it's just not happening right now.
I know, well, it's like logistically, yeah, there's just like a lot to consider with that for
Yes.
sure. Money and I don't know. There's just like a lot that pours into that for sure. But yeah, I mean, I was always like in a big. I mean, I don't have a lot of siblings. Like I have a brother and a sister.
Yeah.
Um, but like yeah, so my dad was one of five, and then my mom was one of nine. So like
Oh, hey, let's
there's just like
go.
so many kids, so many cousins. So it's fun. But yeah, Irish Catholic.
Did you grow up by your mom's family or your dad's family, or they were all around?
All around in the Chicagoland area,
Oh,
except for
that's phenomenal.
yeah, it's awesome. When
Would you guys see each other weekly, monthly? What was the move there?
we would see each other definitely like holidays, birthdays, like every birthday party was like 50 plus people at our
Oh,
house.
that's a
Like
riot.
it was a bash. Yeah, it was really awesome. Like and looking back on it, I'm like, this was sweet. Yeah. And it still is because like we still do that, I mean, it's like a little less as time goes on, right? Because like everybody now, all my cousins have their own families and
Right.
like it's hard to like find time for everybody to be on the same page. But like the Dells is like always still on the books. And then like we usually try to get together like around St. Patrick's Day or like
Yeah.
Christmas if we can. But
It,
um
if you could recall, what was your top memory at the Dells, or one of your top memories at the Dells?
Mm, so many good memories there. I really loved like my uncles and my cousins have boats and like so I remember like I was really proud of myself when I got up on water skis
Oh,
one
that's fantastic.
yeah. I don't know if I could do it now, but like at the time I was like probably in high school and I was like, oh my God, I'm up on water skis. Like this is so cool. So that was like really a highlight for sure. But
And what was the uh how do what was the biggest shenanigans that you either got in trouble for or didn't get in trouble for?
oh God.
Take your time. I'm gonna get a sip of water, so there's no
Yeah.
pressure. Take your time. Think about it. Ponder.
Um,
Take a moment.
that's tough. Mm. Hmm. I don't know. There's not like one specific thing. It was usually just revolving around like staying up really late
Okay.
and sitting around a bonfire and just like being silly.
All right, we'll take that. We'll
I'll
take that.
just leave it at
I didn't
that.
know if you stole any boats,
Oh
if
my
you
God.
set any porches on fire. I was just seeing what's out there.
No, no. It was more innocent, just like being up way too late and like
Yeah.
goofing around. Yeah.
All right, we'll take that. We'll take
Yeah. Yeah.
so around the middle school time for us, you said you went to a public school then?
Middle school was still private, but then high
Okay.
school was public.
Okay, so how was the transition from middle school to high school? What was the differences that you saw?
Mm, very big differences for sure. I mean, like you're going from like, I don't know, I think I graduated as a class of like 60 kids from my elementary school. Like it was
That's
so in
not a
eighth grade.
lot.
No, no, not a lot. And everybody was like very much like the same like status, social status. I don't know how to say that in
Yeah.
like demographic,
How
but
to say that nicely?
yeah, or just like, you know, and then getting to like public school, I was like, oh my gosh, like there's so many people here, like so many different personalities and backgrounds. And so that was like a big adjustment for sure.
Yeah.
But I
What
loved our school.
what was your uh develop I started the sentence and I couldn't backspace it, so I was just gonna stick with it. Um so going through high school, generally there's usually some trouble with either people making fun of you or feeling just not enough and things of that nature. Did you see that at all while you were in high school, or you felt pretty good going through?
I felt good, honestly. Like I didn't experience that. I'm lucky though, but I would say I had like, I was lucky that I don't know, I was involved in sports and like I feel like that really helped me. Like I was
Yeah.
always like, I don't
Where do
know,
you feel like that confidence came from?
sports for
Okay.
sure. Oh yeah. Yeah. Cause I was okay. I was pretty good. Like I was good. In high school I
Yeah.
was good. Like I was good athlete. Like I love playing sports. It was like for me fun. I'm competitive. Like it was just great. And
Yeah.
I was always like pretty felt good about myself. Yeah. I
So
can't really.
since there was not really much self-doubt, it didn't really matter what was coming in because you felt that it wasn't true.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
So what sports were you playing in high school?
I did volleyball, basketball, and softball.
Ooh,
All
very
three.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Which one did you enjoy the most?
This is so hard. I love them all.
Okay,
Different reasons.
let's
You
hear them.
know, well, for different reasons. I mean, I always like I like volleyball is just like so fun and team oriented and like I don't know. I like the sport because it's fast, but then like I like basketball because it's a little more physical and like um and then softball was more like kind of just like skillful,
Yeah,
tactful, like and I think I'm a person that just like doesn't really like to do one thing for too long. Like I like a variety of things. So like for me, like
right.
that mix was just like always great. I was always excited to like go into the next season and like do
Okay.
something different. So it worked out. Yeah.
And
Worked out for me.
did you ever have a time where you wanted to quit the sport that your parents had to say, no, you're going to stick it out, or did you have any of those moments?
No, I was like, I loved it. I just like loved it. I loved it all. Yeah. That like more like what you were asking earlier, like the self-doubt and like
Yeah.
the questioning like happened more for me in college. But like
Okay.
in high school, I was still like feeling good.
Hey,
Yeah.
we'll take that.
Yeah.
As far as transitioning, well, hello.
Oh,
Would you like up? Would you like to say hi?
oh
Okay.
my
Okay.
gosh, so sweet.
She's like, I hear someone around here. I'm gonna go
Oh,
see where they're at. So as far as transitioning to college, what was the process of figuring out where you were going? Were you recruited? What was the process there?
that was an interesting process. Yeah, I kind of was like, no, I think I'm done with sports. Like, I'm just gonna go to U of I. That's where my cousins go. Like,
Okay.
I want to be like my older cousins. They're so awesome. And then I don't know how this like I can't remember, but basically I was like, maybe I do want to play a sport in college. And then like I kind of had heard through like our high school volleyball coach that like Carthage would have maybe be looking for like a middle hitter or something. And I was like,
Okay.
oh, that's interesting. Like we should just and we was like, let's just go check it out. Like maybe I do want to play a sport in college. Like I don't really know what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. So then I went and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this school. It's amazing. It's so like beautiful. It's right on the lake. Like the gym is so nice. Like the coach is nice. Like I'm like, this could be like really fun and it feels
Yeah.
like welcoming and nice. So like then I was like, I totally pivoted and I'm like, nope, I'm going to Carthage. I'm playing volleyball. Like, and didn't go to UI.
That's fantastic. So, as far as being a middle and they're saying, "Hey, this is what we want to do," was the coach very adamant about getting you there, or what was the?
It was interesting. Like, I mean, the coaches are so great. Like, they're still like, I'll like see them at like friends' weddings and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
they're amazing. But it was a really competitive program, and I just like wasn't like I always played travel softball, but I never played competitive volleyball like outside of high school.
Yeah.
Like most people would do like club volleyball, but I didn't
Right.
do that. I was just tall and like not too bad at it.
Yeah. Hey,
um,
that helps. That helps.
it helps, yeah. And I just love the sport, so I was like, this seems like really fun. But it was a really strong program,
Yeah.
and the girls once I got there were like really good.
Okay.
So that was like kind of a reality check. Like I think the coach wanted everyone to succeed, of course. Like they put the tools in everyone's hands to succeed. Like they're amazing people. It's just for me, I was like a little like a fish out of water. Like these girls were super good, and
Yeah.
so yeah. So that for me, I was like, oh, this that was where like the self doubt and the like, oh,
Okay.
I might be in a little over my head here. Like, and I don't know if I love this because I was like going from playing a ton, being like a starter, to like
Yeah.
not really playing much at all. And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I just like this just isn't what I want it to be. So
Yeah.
it was short lived. Long story short.
So did you play softball there as well, or was it just volleyball?
I played volleyball for a year and
Okay.
then I pivoted and I was like, let me try softball. I'm always really had good experience with softball and the coach, then I talked to the coach and they're like, yeah, yeah, come try out. Like, let's see how it goes. And like, and I made the softball team for a year and same thing. I'm like, I was good enough to be on the team, but probably not good enough to play as much as I like would have liked to.
Yeah. So what does that conversation look like? Are you journaling it? Are you talking to friends and family? How do you come to the next decision?
Um, no, talking to my parents probably
Okay.
for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I would say I was just like, this is what I thought it was gonna be. And like kind of like like eye on the prize of like also like this is a lot of time. Like I'm committing a lot of time to this. I'm not really getting what I want out of it. And I
Yeah.
know I wanna really be excelling academically so I could like get into PT school. Like so I want to make sure I'm like putting my time and my effort like where it's gonna serve me the best and like sitting on the bench isn't gonna like really get me where I love the sport, but it's like
Yeah.
it's so much time. I mean, even if it was just Division 3, but it's like still a lot of time and effort
Yeah.
and energy. So just like weighing the pros and cons. But I always go to my parents. I mean, because I'm the oldest, like my parents are like, I go to them for everything.
Yeah.
Probably if you talk to them, oh my God, they'd be like, Sarah called us way too much.
Well, it seems like they were supportive and they have helped
Oh
you
yeah.
figure out the right path.
Yeah.
When uh
Totally.
when they would give you suggestions, how would they do it in a way that was well received? Because I feel like up until I was like 24, anything my mom told me, I was like, hey, come on, what do you know? He did
Uh,
run a couple businesses and that has a wonderful life, so maybe I should have listened to her a little bit more. But
yeah, yeah.
how were they able to portray or conversate with you to lead you down a good path?
That's good question. I'm like, what about that? I feel like I always felt like they always had my best interest in mind. So like that was always like very comforting because I'm like, and then they were like not judgy, like they
Yeah.
were never gonna make me feel bad about like my feelings. They were always like, okay, like if that's how like it was just like always like coming from a place of support and like
Okay.
non-judgment. Like so
Yeah.
I feel like that kind of helped me always go to them.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like yeah, they were just kind of like I don't know. I feel like my dad like works. He's a project manager, so he's always like good at like seeing the big picture and like seeing things ahead and seeing like where he came. Like he can like piece things together really well. So
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, this makes sense. Like, and he's a really good communicator too. So he's always like kind of helped me with that and like how to communicate things effectively and like because that would always be like so nervous. Like, how am I going to go tell a coach like I don't want to play anymore? Like that. Like he's like, nope, you're gonna go like you're gonna say this. Like I'm like, okay, right, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
So like just like always instilling and like reassuring and
Yeah.
like what was helpful.
That's fantastic. As you were saying that, I now recall, how was it being living on your own for the first time? Or did you feel pretty confident in that realm?
Ooh, um, it was fun. It was good. Yeah, I mean, I love college. Yeah, I think like yeah, it was good. I don't really feel like I was had any real trouble living on my own. I was always had great like roommates. I was really lucky.
That's
Roommates that
very lucky. There's usually
friends.
some
Yeah,
rough stories when it comes to some roommates.
totally. Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, no, I was like, I mean, one of my, all the girls I met at volleyball are still like my best friends. There's like
Yeah.
five of us, really glued at the hip. We all lived in, like relatively together in the same area, which was great. No, living on my own was fine until I got to New York.
Uh-oh.
It was different, but in Wisconsin, Midwest, totally fine.
Wisconsin is well known for, I think, the drinks per capita or whatever. How did you handle your alcohol in college while dealing with going to school and things like that?
I mean, Carthage like wasn't a huge party school because
Okay.
everyone was there to play sport and everyone was there to usually, it was just kind of like a quieter school.
Yeah.
I don't think it was like because like my husband went to like Western. Like
Okay.
Western is a little bigger party school and like even like I've had like my sister went to Eastern. Like those like big state schools are just like it's a different I think culture
Yeah.
at a private liberal arts college, that has like 3,000 kids. Like it's just not as many pressures and like
Okay.
going out. Like it's not like we were going out every night. Like things were just like way more tame, I think. But
Okay.
and not to say we didn't go out or there wasn't pressures, but nothing that I felt like was like out of proportion to like
Yeah.
what
I
was
I
the
feel like
norm.
college, you go down a couple paths, and sometimes you start drinking, you really enjoy it, and then now I'm not in school anymore, or I'm in college, I'm drinking, I don't know how I'm making it through this.
Uh,
And then you just continue the drinking, or it's, oh, I drank a little bit, I did a lot of school, and then we're doing great.
yeah, that's kind of yeah. I feel like that's where we're at. Like we had fun, but we like got our stuff done
Yeah.
and mission accomplished.
We made it. We made it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
when you were there as a freshman, did you know what you wanted to graduate in? What was your direction?
yeah. I knew. I mean, like I always knew I wanted to do physical therapy, so that
Really?
was yes.
What was was there a specific thing that happened that you're like, this is what I'm gonna do, or what got you there?
Um, so my mom is one of nine
Yep.
kids. So her mom, my grandma, was a physical therapist. So like
Okay.
that's going back a while. Like, so she was like one of the first, not a, there wasn't a lot of female PTs, like there
Yeah.
weren't a lot of PTs anyways. Like she was like kind of like really like led the trail with that. So it was just cool. And then she had nine kids, and then four of them were either like physical therapists or occupational therapists.
Wow.
Yeah, so it just like kind of was in the family. But then
So
like once I
what's the difference between physical therapist and occupational therapist?
it depends like what like field you're in, but physical therapy is more of like the movement of things. Like how do you move through your day? Like how are you able to complete like functional tasks where
Okay.
like occupational is, I don't know, I'm probably not describing this perfectly. Occupational is going to be more like technical things like you need to learn how to eat, you need to learn how to write, you need to learn how to
Oh,
like
okay.
speak. Well, speech is going to be more speaking, but like um more like instrumental daily activities versus like
Gotcha.
more fine, even like, and I know most of some OTs would be like it's not fine motor, but it is a lot of like more fine tasks where we're more like gross motor, gross
Yes.
movements like walking, running, sit to stand,
Okay.
transferring, getting back to sport, like that's going to be more like physical therapist.
Yeah.
So
So while you were going through that in school, was there ever a time where you're like, oh, this isn't it for me? Or everything you're learning, you're like, this is great. Give me more. Give me more.
yes, yeah, I was like I love this, like more. More is good, yeah.
What was there any interesting studies or information or demonstrations where you're like, man, this is just the coolest.
I mean, no, like nothing in undergrad. I mean, nothing in undergrad because undergrad you're getting like your prereqs done, right? So it's more
Okay.
just like, but I did love anatomy. I mean, I loved anatomy. We didn't have a lab in undergrad, but we had a really great anatomy teacher, and I'm trying to think like we did a couple. I had to do like volunteer like observation hours, and I always like loved that.
Yeah.
Um,
Was that at a hospital? Was it at an elderly facility? What was that
um, that was at an outpatient clinic, just like
at?
a
Okay.
normal kind of like outpatient clinic, but no, for me, like it was just like always new because I'm like, I love moving my body. Like I think it's so amazing that you could heal like people with movement. Like,
Yeah.
and so I was just like, I just like was always fascinated by like the human body and how it like works, like the
Yeah.
inner workings of it. Yeah. And so I was always just like, I like want to learn more and more and more. So that
So we're heading towards graduation. How do you figure out what the next move is? Can you go in to just being a PT and get hired at a place there, or what are the options available to you?
um well from grit so like after Carthage, like so you do like your 4 years of undergrad and then
Okay.
you have to do 3 more years of like a doctorate program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're like, sorry, I thought we were getting through schooling. But yeah, you have to do 3 more years at a doctorate program. So yeah, so after college I was like, okay, I need to like apply and I need to get accepted to like a doctoral program so I can like finish and like get my degree. So
So
then you can practice. Yeah.
that so seven years is a lot of years.
Yes.
Um, as far as the graduate program goes, is it intensive as the amount of hours that you're doing in classes, or what does that program look like for 3 years?
It's intense for sure. They're trying to pack a lot in. It was pretty much full time. I mean, so I ended up going to school in New York. I had the summers off for the most part, except for like we would have like one clinical rotation in the summer, for like 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. But um, it was a lot. It was intense. Like I think
Yeah,
like my program, like they accepted. I can't remember. This probably aren't the right numbers, but for example, like around like 50 kids and I think we graduated with like 41 or 42. Like if you didn't keep your grades up, like you would
yeah.
get like removed from the program. Like it was kind of cutthroat. So
What as far as the grading went, was it just a bunch of grunt work? Did you have to memorize a bunch of stuff? What was so taxing about it?
it was just I think it was a lot because you had to like learn like anatomy and physiology, but like at another level. Like I almost felt like I was learning another language. Like there's just
Okay.
so much lingo that you're trying to like process and then apply. Like that was challenging. And the intensity because you're learning a lot in a short period of time. Like you have to get through like a lot of things. And then like now with the doctorate, they like prepare you to like stand on your own,
Okay.
like with the clinic, like whereas like it used to be a master's degree. So like then you would be under like a physician. Like you wouldn't be able to stand alone and just operate as a physical
Yeah.
therapist. But now it's like they're preparing you. So you have to be able to like screen and make sure you know like what's PT appropriate and what's not PT
Okay.
appropriate. can I treat you or should I be referring you out to a doctor to like or to urgent care or to ER? You know, like you have to have those screening skills. So it was just like a lot
Yeah.
in a short amount of time.
As far as learning for you goes, did you find a certain technique was best for you? Did you watch videos, note cards? What was your best way to learn about something?
I'm like definitely a written person. Like I need to like write it and read it. So
Okay.
that was me. Like I was very like color coded writing, reading. I'm not like audit like I don't know. I'm not an auditory person. Like I need to read it. Like if
Yeah.
someone tells me directions, I'm like let me write it down. Like I need to write it.
What,
That like
what was there ever a class that was tough for you and you had to figure out a way to get through it, or is just you knew how much work you had to do and you just made sure you got that done?
ugh. Um yeah, I mean it was great. Like I was lucky because like I had a good like study groups. We'd all work together.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was never really like, and those, my study group is like now like still my really good friends, which is great. Like, so it was like fun. Like, so we'd always like get together and like work through things, but it was
Yeah.
never like, oh my God, I'm not going to pass this class. Like, it was
Okay.
just like, no, I need to like cram and like get this in my brain, but
Yeah.
nothing like, I'm not going to pass. I'm worried. I mean, the teachers were really great. They're always available and accessible. You could always ask. It was a small school. It wasn't a big school. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was good.
We've talked a fair amount on the mental side, but how is the physical side while going through this program? Usually when things are intense in the school area, we like to just relax, but were you able to keep your body healthy while going through this?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, we had a gym membership the whole 3 years we were out there, and I would run. Um, we go to the gym, like do cardio, lift weights. Like it was like, yeah, I think we took pretty good care of ourselves because we were like in it, right? Like you
Right,
learn, like if I don't move and I don't get up and like I don't do stretching, like that's not going to be good. That's not going to play
right.
out well for me. So like, no, I mean, I think my eating habits in hindsight could have definitely been better, but there's a lot more resources out and like available now, like than when you're like a broke college student living in
Right.
New York trying to like just survive. But yeah, I mean, I think I could have probably ate better, but I think movement was, I mean, like I've always like moved my body. So
Yeah.
it's really important. Yeah.
How did you change your routine as far as playing sports in college to your graduate program? Like, what did your lifting weights routine look like in the gym?
Not nearly as intense for sure. I would say I probably was swinging more cardio, but I mean, like we would go do like it was nothing intense. Like you would
Yeah,
probably laugh and be like, Sarah, that's like nothing. But like it was probably heavy cardio, running, like elliptical machines, and then
yeah.
like maybe light arms, like and squatting, like nothing. Lunges, squatting, arms, like that's probably it.
Well,
Nothing crazy.
I think it's interesting as far as like the lifting and intensity goes, because generally when you go into the gym, you don't see a lot of old people.
Hmm.
And my theory is they've just been trying to get bigger and stronger, and at some age the body just stopped. So they're no longer just hitting the bro split, the biceps, the bench, the whatever it is, the bicep curls and all that stuff. Um, and I think a longevity approach, which I think either a lighter weight focusing on stability or functionality. Um, I don't know how I feel about just functional movements. That's kind of a squirrely title these days
Hmm.
when you say I'm doing functional work. But I think being in shape for what you want to do in life is important, where a lot of people get started in the gym just trying to get bigger and stronger, and generally that ends up with some injury.
Hmm. Definitely. Yeah, I see that a lot. Like even post, like, I mean, like fast forwarding a little bit, but like
Yep.
postpartum, it's like I see people trying to get back in the gym, which is like so good, but it's like your body's like not quite meeting you where you want to be mentally. Like, so it's like that lining up is
Yeah.
hard.
So
So
as far as we'll try to get to that portion.
yeah.
We graduate. What's the stuff? No more school after that? Are you enticed by getting more enrichments or anything, or are we immediately starting a job after that?
Mm, yeah, so I yeah, I was in New York for school and then I was still, well, this is kind of the story that I tell people. I was like still dating my now husband who was
Love it.
back in the city in Chicago. Um, so then I was like, well, I don't want to do all my rotations out in New York because I'm going to be moving home to Chicago. Like I just always knew that. So then
Yeah.
um I was like an opportunity came up to do a rotation in back home in the city and the clinical instructor was like it's women's health and I was like, well, I don't really care. I just want to go home and see my boyfriend of the month.
Yeah.
Um
Whatever you
but
got, I'll take
yeah, I
it.
was like, I'll take it, sure, fine. But it was like great. It was an amazing rotation. I learned so much. Like that was where I first was exposed to the women's health, like pelvic health world.
Yeah.
And then I ended up taking that. That was the first job I took out of school. So then
Okay.
once I was there, then um there was a need for like more pelvic health practitioners and
Yeah.
then they said they would pay for me to like continue my education that way so then
Oh,
I just like
oh.
jumped right on that yeah because I was like I could work and then I can also like educate so
Yeah.
that was the route that I took. I mean there's a lot of different routes you could go
Yeah.
but for me that's what how it shook out.
Which the wildest thing is going through and learning with my wife with her pregnancy and stuff. Women's health is a relatively new thing is what I'm learning as far as going through childbirth. I think preeclampsia used to be a psychological disorder. They're like, oh, women are just being emotional or whatever. Um, and there is just relatively like studies being like, oh yeah, women's bodies are different.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to start treating them that way. What was your introduction or like wow moment? You're like, oh, this is we need to work on this.
Yeah, I mean I think I've had so many like wow moments along the
Yeah.
way in different like kind of realms, but like probably like the first one was like um when I was doing that rotation, I'm like, wow, like this is awesome how these women are like speaking up about their dysfunction and like we have the tools to help them and it's working and
Yeah.
it's fast and like it's not rocket science. I'm like, we're not like really doing super complicated things here. This is like really easy, like I always say, like low hanging fruit
Yeah.
things that you could do to like make your body healthier. And I'm like, I always say, like, this needs to be like put on a billboard. Like, this is insane that like it takes someone like having to go through all these, like, jump through these hoops to get to pelvic floor physical therapy. And I'm like, this is just like so basic. Like,
All right. So I bought you a billboard in the middle of Chicago. You say, if you have this problem, these are the things to do. Break it down for me.
there's so many, but I would say, like, you need to hydrate your body.
Okay. Uh,
Water is important. Do not deprive yourself of water
okay.
because you think you're going to leak urine. Um,
So, oh, so women are not drinking the water, and that's caught because they're like, oh, I pee constantly and I can't stop
mhm,
it.
mhm.
And water is fundamental to the
Yes,
human
yes,
body.
correct. Yeah, do not dehydrate yourself to the point of further dysfunction.
Okay. All right. That's one.
I think that's one. I would say your bowel is important. You need to pay attention
Yep.
to what's happening with your bowel. I mean, things that, I mean, there's just so much. Like, bowel's important, water's important. Um, Not everybody needs to be doing Kegels.
Okay.
Kegels will not save you. um,
So, is it my understanding that there's a couple different way to do Kegels, and there's um we had a pelvic floor therapist come over when Jessica was first pregnant, and there was now I thinking one of them was perineum stretches,
mhm.
but there was something about the Kegel that the woman's like, okay, it's less of this, and you should feel more pressure here. Is there something that women usually make a mistake with Kegels, or um is there a good cue to doing them properly, or when to or when not to do them?
I mean, I think there's a lot to that question, but the base would be like, okay, basic principle, like your pelvic floor needs to be able to do two things. Like it needs to be able to go up into a Kegel. It
Yep.
needs to have a healthy resting baseline.
Okay.
So it's like think of an elevator. It's like supposed to go up. That's your Kegel, come back to baseline, and then it should be able to lengthen.
Okay.
And if you don't have both of those, then you could possibly end up with dysfunction. So I think like people don't realize like as much as your pelvic floor is supposed to go up, it's also supposed to go down and
Okay.
it's supposed to have a healthy baseline. So like if you don't have those three things, like that could lead to dysfunction. The other thing I would say is like with the Kegel, a lot of times like people will come in and they'll be like, I'm doing my Kegel, and they're like holding their breath and they're like tensing their whole body and like clenching their jaw. And I'm like, okay, hang on. Like, so like you would always try to cue or like do your Kegel, coordinate it with your breath. So like when you're inhaling,
Yeah.
your body be relaxing and creating space.
Okay.
When you're exhaling, that's when you should be doing your Kegel. Like that you're exhaling, you're expelling air from your diaphragm and you're
Okay.
pulling up through your pelvic floor. So like I think
Gotcha.
people don't realize like you need to be coordinating your breath and your pelvic floor together. If you're just like tightening like
Right.
everything, like you're just not going to be getting what you want. You're not going to be getting like what your body needs. So there's definitely like some breath work that needs to be coordinated with that too.
So how do you test if the floor is gonna have dysfunction? Because I feel like yes, a lot of people are able to do the Kegel or squeeze, but how are you able to tell where everything is or how it's functioning?
So there's like a lot to that. I mean, like we have I always tell patients like we have options, right? Like if
Okay.
you're like you know, gold standard textbook would be we do an internal pelvic floor muscle exam.
Okay.
So like what that would look like is, you know, we're in a this is like kind of weird to people out, but it's like we're in an outpatient clinic. We have a door, we have a room with a door, you
Yeah.
know. People don't know that, but we could put sheets down on the table. So like it's more private. But we check the muscles with like one gloved finger.
Yeah.
Um, there's three layers to your pelvic floor. We check all three layers. You have the same set of muscles on the right side and the left side.
Okay.
So we check and make sure those muscles, like, first of all, like, are they tight or are they tense? And then can they work together to like do a Kegel and can they relax and can they
Yeah.
lengthen? So we're checking all those things. That's like gold standard textbook. But I've, you know, patients who are like not comfortable with an internal exam. So then we're looking at other things. Like we're looking at um, how's your breath? Like how's your breathing?
Yeah.
How are your hips moving? How's your back moving? How's your abdomen moving? Like
Yeah.
all of those things, you know, pieced together, we can kind of also figure out like what the pelvic floor is probably doing. Like, but it's always like to anyone's comfort level. Like we
Yeah.
never want to make someone feel like they're being funneled into something they're not comfortable with doing.
Yeah.
So there's also like we have a tool, a nice device called like a biofeedback unit that we use where you
Okay.
can like put stickers on the outside of the muscles, like little EKG stickers, and like have them contract and relax. And then like in real time, you can see like the
Wow.
microvolts force that the muscles are putting out. So sometimes that's like a nice option too. If
Yeah.
somebody doesn't want to do something internal, but they still want to know what their muscle strength is, like there's like a lot of good options. And I just like wish
Yeah.
people knew that because I feel like if they were if they knew that there were options, like maybe they would be more inclined to like sign up and come.
The
So
Amazon guy. Ring the doorbell.
that's okay.
This is the part that I get to edit out. All right. So with the stickers and seeing the strength, have you ever tested like, oh, this is how strong my bicep? Like, have like what kind of testing can you do with this sticker? I just imagine just like in the gym, just squatting and be like, oh, it's working.
I don't know. Like I have put it on my calf once just to
Yeah.
like see how it worked. Like when I was first like learning how to use it, I was like, let me just put it on my calf and like do a calf raise and see what
Yeah.
happens. But like it, yeah, I mean it works, but I don't know how accurate.
So it's telling like pounds of pressure or like electrical current? Like what is it? What is it telling?
Microvolts.
Okay,
Yeah, of force.
gotcha. Very cool. So what? who is your primary person that should be coming in? Because after our first child, my wife was peeing a fair amount, just when jumping, working out, or whatever it is. Volleyball, very fun time for her. She's like, I'm just gonna set. I don't need to hit right now.
Yeah, oh, no.
This
Yeah,
isn't going super well. Second baby, she's been doing a lot more exercises. She feels like she has some more control of it. But still definitely tightness and not the best control. So what's the who do you want to see, or when should someone go see help?
I mean, honestly, like in a perfect world, like everybody comes to pelvic floor therapy
Okay.
once just
Yeah.
to like learn about your body.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to be like more specific, I mean, anyone with like urinary issues like
Okay.
leakage, urge, frequency of urination, pain with urination, difficulty emptying your bladder. Like we see all of that. Any like bowel dysfunction. So like constipation, diarrhea, just like inconsistent bowel movements,
Yeah.
bloating, like flatulence issues. Like we see all of that.
Okay. What
Prolapse. Oh,
But when you say bowel movements or gas, how is the pelvic floor related to that?
so related. Well, because think like if you're thinking about it like anatomically, like the pelvic floor is the basement to
Okay.
like bladder, rectum, abdominal contents. Like it
Yeah.
houses everything. And so like what's going to help manage that pressure system? It's like your pelvic
Oh,
floor.
okay.
What's going to help like evacuate stool efficiently your pelvic floor, like if you are holding tension in your pelvic floor, like that could affect your motility and like how things move through your intestines.
Yeah.
Like I'll see that, or or is your pelvic floor working really hard to try to support a loose stool? Like then we need to talk about regulating that way. So like there's
Okay.
just like a lot to it. How's your gut microbiome? Like what's your nutrition? Like those are things we talk about. Like how can we help your gut be a little healthier so you don't have like these pockets of air,
Yeah.
that are like hard to manage or like uncomfortable or socially awkward, like things like that. So
Do
there's a lot.
you do a stool sample and then test that for the gut microbiome, or how do you test that or figure out?
No, like with no, I think like that'd be GI doctor would be able
Okay.
to do like a stool sample or something like that. But we are more just like talking about diet and like what are people putting in their bodies? Like,
Yeah.
are you prioritizing like what does your fiber intake look like? Are you doing any like probiotic rich foods? Like,
Yeah.
um, you know, things like that
Yeah.
are
All
really
right. So hear me out on fiber. I know
ooh.
I like to go to the ends of spectrums of things. So um I had a torn rectum in college, and the doctor specialist I was going to, he prescribed Metamucil, so just pretty much that's just pure fiber, right? Um, no, ish,
Ish.
ish. Okay.
Yeah.
So he was saying eat fiber-rich foods, um, and oh, anal fissure. That's the correct term. So what what I feel fiber is that not more just bulk that's pulling things out of the body, or correct me where I'm wrong here.
I mean, I think like fiber is going to be your regulator,
Okay,
gonna help. It depends. Like it's like what's your goal? Because like there's soluble and insoluble,
right?
and then one's gonna move things through, and one's gonna help like bulk and gel. So it's just like what's your goal with it, right? Like so I always say fiber is like you're gonna be a regulator. Like if you're gonna try to just like move things through, like that'd be like Miralax. That's gonna be something that's like pushing water down the water slide versus
Okay.
like fiber is going to be more like the inner tube that you're like riding in down the slide. It's kind of like
Okay.
the analogy I make.
Okay.
I don't know if that helps, but
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I remember I had the purple bottle and the yellow one, so it was Miralax and Metamucil. So it
yeah, that sounds good.
was
Yeah, yeah. You need it's like it's a good combo. It's a good combo. I mean, like obviously not forever, right?
yeah,
Like you're, and I always like encourage patients like it's better to just get the food, like get get the fiber, get the probiotics, get like whatever, get the water like
Yeah.
in dietarily versus like supplementing. It's just I think your body's going to break it down better. But
Right. Well, yeah, at that time, anytime I had a bowel movement, I was crying and I
oh
was
no, that's
so
horrible.
I was not very happy with the Metamucil portion of it.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
fair.
why do I have this? This
Yeah,
not a huge fan of it. But yeah, I always the fiber to me uh usually seemed to cover up like a lot of processed food. And I was like, I don't think it's add more fiber. I think it's take out the more processed food, but I'll give
totally.
it.
I know. I feel like yeah, it's hard, but yeah, I think there's a lot to it, right? Like, but yeah, if you're eating like more hard to digest foods, like that fiber is probably not going to save you.
Yeah.
Probably need to like address like the actual root of why things are a little bit slowed or a little more firm than you want
Yeah.
it to be, stressing, like things like that.
So I have some family members that are vegetarian. And they're always like, "Oh yeah, I'm having to take these supplements because I'm so gassy, or like it's just not digesting well, and I have diarrhea all the time." And I'm like, I just don't think if you're looking like I understand the animal like don't want to harm an animal, that's fine. But as far as like a health aspect goes, when you're having just inconsistent bowel movements and a lot of gas, um what would if someone came into you with that, what would your suggestion be?
Mm, I mean, there's a lot to it, right? Like it's like inconsistent bowel movements and gas.
Yeah, I guess that covers a lot of things.
That's a lot, right? Like I think you would want to prioritize your bowel movements for sure.
Okay.
But the question is why? Like, is it truly like your diet? Like
Yeah.
maybe, or is it, that you're under a lot of stress and you're holding tension in your abdomen and you're not breathing efficiently and
Yeah.
now your motility is affected? Or is it you also have back pain and that's you're in a guarded state, or is your
Yeah.
pelvic floor not working efficiently to relax and lengthen and now things are slowed? Like there's
Yeah.
just like so much to it.
I think that's really helpful because for me, I generally thought that it was just because I was eating poorly that the bowel movement wasn't great, but now I got another long list of things I can look at.
Totally. Yeah. Like that's what I was thinking. Like, why does he have like a fissure? But I'm like, I mean, if you're doing a lot of like lifting, contracting,
Oh,
tightening
so
things,
the fissure was I got mono, and then I
uh,
got Tylenol with I forget whatever the drug is. Um,
like codeine or something.
yeah, so I had that, and
Uh,
then I didn't poop for like 4 or 5 days, and then I
mm.
did poop, and then I got an anal fissure from it.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That stinks. But yeah, yeah, that's totally possible. Medication induced
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Well, and it took I think 6 months, maybe 4 months to figure it out. Because the doctor I went to was I didn't know there was different I don't know how to say he was he didn't look at the outside of the anus, he looked at the inside. Proctologist, is that the correct term?
Mm-hmm. I think
Um
so. I don't know exactly what you said, but yeah, probably.
yeah, he went past the fissure and he's like, "Oh, no, I don't see anything wrong here. I don't know why you're in pain and you can't sit down." So I was going through like night classes and just like I'd have to move every couple of seconds and just like never sit down. And then it's just funny telling the story. We have a family friend that's a doctor and he's like, "Let me take a look at it." So I went over to his house, to his basement. Laid down on his bench, and I was maybe there for like a minute and a half. He's like, "Yeah, you need to have surgery to get the like this stitched back." Like, I don't what how long have you had this for?
Oh no.
And I remember texting my mom on like my Razor phone at the time, like, "Need surgery." Friends that or your buddy says that I should go see somebody about this.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like
I
Oh,
think that's one of the reasons why I distrust doctors. But I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
totally. But like, yeah, I mean, like, it's like, unfortunately, like, that's a lot of people's stories. Like, they go in, they ask for help, it gets missed, it gets dismissed, like, and it's like a personal area you're trying to open up anyways, and like describe what's going on, but
Right.
it's like, it's unfortunate, but it happens a lot.
Yeah. So is what you do mostly Medicare or insurance, or what type of options are out there for women?
For, well, at least in where I'm practicing currently, we see like everything. We see
Okay.
Medicare, Medicaid, TRICARE, Blue Cross, all the major insurances.
Yeah.
Like, um, everybody that I'm seeing has insurance for the most part. I mean, like, yeah. Um, we have a self-pay rate, but it's rarely used in like a big healthcare system. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Is
yeah.
is there a reason to go see you before pregnancy, or is it generally afterwards?
Oh,
Uh,
totally. I
okay.
see the pre, post. Yeah. I have patients I have patients that will come because they have an issue. Like, I'm
Okay.
experiencing back pain, or I'm having hip pain, or a lot of pelvic pressure, like during pregnancy. But then, like, or I'll have people who are just like, nope, I just like want to make sure my body is like moving as well as it possibly can to like prep for this baby.
That's
Um,
great.
which is awesome. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, good for you for like advocating and like speaking up on like what you want to do with your body. Like, I think it's so awesome. And it's like super fun for me because I'm like, we're not really tackling anything that's serious. We're just like trying to prep people to like have a
Yeah.
good delivery, which is nice and refreshing. And then postpartum, I think like if I had it my way, it's every single person who has a baby comes in.
Okay.
C-section, vaginal delivery, like you need to be seen. I
Yeah.
need to have some education on like what to expect, what's normal, what's not, like how are you gonna manage anything that comes up, like, and just get a new baseline because like regardless, like if you delivered c-section or vaginal, like you have a new baseline now, like your
Right.
body is not what it was pre-baby, like, and can you get it back? Of course, I think you definitely could get it back, but it's like you need to have a good understanding of what your new normal is so that you can know when something like is off again, like
Right.
just reestablish like a connection. I think like even like delivery is like a big life event, like, and your brain and your body just get a little bit like a little bit or a lot of it interrupted, like when
Yeah.
you go through that, like regardless of what it looks like. So I think
So
everybody should have to.
what would be if you're to play devil's advocate, why does every woman not go see a pelvic floor therapist after birth? Like what would be a good reason not to? Because I feel like you said, everyone should come see you, but it seems like it's a very small percentage of the population that does.
Yeah, I think it's a couple things. Like, I think it's like an accessibility issue for
Okay.
one. Like, there's just not a lot of pelvic floor physical therapists like
Oh, okay.
around. Like, so that's one. I think two, I don't see a lot of referrals coming through unless someone has a problem, and it's not always like presented off the bat. Like,
Yeah.
they're not saying, hey, like your 6 week postpartum visit, they're not saying like, would you like to go to pelvic floor physical therapy? I'm happy to write your referral. Like, that's not the lingo. It's more like not spoken about until like there's a problem or an issue that comes up.
Yeah.
Um, so that's like I think another piece of it.
Which on that, when I went with Jessica for her 6 week checkup, I was just chilling in the car, and I think I didn't even get comfortable into whatever podcast I was listening to, and she was back out, and I was like, "What on earth did they do in there? Any exam? What was the conversation?" It just seemed like the most minimal communication and steps were being done in there. Um, it honestly, Jessica was very upset. My wife was upset about it.
Yeah,
It
understandably.
didn't seem like it was very helpful. For you knowing everything that does go on, if you don't mind, how was your checkup and what would you have liked them to do if it wasn't done?
Um, yeah, I mean it's fast, right? And I like feel like there's a lot of reasons like that it's fast. Like they're not dismissing, like they're confined to their schedule, right? Like the
Right.
providers, if they get like 15 minutes to
Yeah.
like make sure that you're not in like have any red flags that need to be like addressed,
Yeah.
and then they're like, okay, you're good. Um, which is why I think like referring to pelvic PT is so important. Like, let's get a better understanding of how your body is postpartum.
Yeah.
I mean, my visits were the same. Like, they were the exact same as your wife's. Like, it
Yeah.
was just so fast. Like, any issues? Nope. You're good. Okay. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's always like, well, what kind of like, what are you doing for birth control? Like things like that, where you're just
Right.
like, I don't know. Yeah. Like, I'll figure that out. Like, I don't know. Some people know, which is great. Like, some people don't know, but it's like,
Yeah.
that's pretty much like how it goes. It's like, are you healed from like a very basic physiologic standpoint, like where you're not going to injure yourself in the immediate future? And then like, what kind of birth control do you want?
Right.
And
Right.
that's pretty much it. Like, that was it. So I think like, yeah,
So
I don't know. In a perfect world, I wish they would kind of like lay out like, so um if you're experiencing like urinary leakage or
yeah.
or pain, like pain is like such a big one. Like, I think people are just like, no, I had a baby, like pain's normal. I'm just gonna deal with it.
Yeah.
Like give them things to look out for and be like, don't hesitate to circle back if you need a referral. Like, I'm
Yeah.
happy to do that for you. Or like, or just put the referral in and everybody can schedule as needed. But it's
Well,
just
and I think that's the tough part. There was no like, hey, if you start trying to have sex and it hurts, like that's not normal. Like it should feel like it did. You should like there's a lot of different things, and it
mhm.
just didn't seem like any of those questions were asked.
Right, right. And
Is
like,
there I feel like the exam should be done with a pelvic floor therapist, not the doctor that probably doesn't have all the knowledge that you have.
mhm. That would be amazing. Like, that would be so awesome. Yeah,
Who do
just
we
like
talk? Who
one
do we talk to
swoop.
about that?
You might be onto something. I'm like, just put me in the doctor's office. But
Well,
like, truly,
and I feel like on insurance's end, they just get to charge more on that. Like they're gonna come see you more. They're gonna be paying, and I feel like that's just more positivity for their clients or the people that are in there. But
right, right. Like, cause that, yeah, that's like a really good point too, because it's like by the time people do speak up and then they do come in, it's like, okay, now we're like actually like 6 months out and things have maybe like gotten a little bit worse. And
right,
like now we have to work through these like maybe compensation patterns that your body has developed to like combat pain or like
yeah,
urinary leakage or like things like that. So yeah, I think it could be a lot better. I mean, I do feel like we're definitely, like you said, like kind of like ramping up and gaining traction and like people are talking about it more and they're not feeling as like ashamed or like taboo about it, which is really good. But
yeah,
I still think like it could be doing so much more.
yeah. What is what's the taboo subjects that you feel? Because um I'm not very good at the whole taboo subjects. I was like, oh, like sex hurts, like, and or just you're peeing whenever this happens. I'm just like, oh, that's just what it is. But some of these things are taboo. So what
Yeah.
are the things that you see that women are dealing with when they come talk to you?
Um, I mean, like just at the very basic level, I mean, like people just aren't talking about like urinary and bowel dysfunction. Like that's
Oh,
just kind of
really?
something that yeah, like I mean, especially like I see it a lot in like older generations. Like
Yeah.
even I don't know how your parents are, but like my parents don't really talk about that. Like, and like even like I see it in different like different like cultures. Like
Yeah.
Irish Catholic, like we don't really talk about that stuff.
Okay.
Like, it's just like kind of kept on myself out. Like so that was for me like super eye-opening when I'm like learning about all this. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's
Yeah.
like so much to this. Like people need to be talking about this. Like, but yeah, bowel bladder, pain with intimacy obviously is
Yeah.
not common. You're not like chatting with someone on the bus about like, your pain with intimacy.
Yeah.
Dryness, like there's a lot of like vaginal
Yeah.
dryness issues, bowel dysfunction. Like people just aren't talking about their bowels. Like I wish they would
Yeah.
because like that needs to be normalized in my opinion.
I'm just gonna have Jessica start shouting this from the rooftops, and it's just to let people know this is normal. It
Yes.
happens.
Literally, like it's so important. Like your bowel can tell you so much about your health and like
Yeah.
your it just like I don't, but people come in and they're like, it's so funny. Like if I had $1 for every time someone sits down and like this is really weird. I can't believe I'm telling you this. I'm like, it's my job. You can tell
Yeah.
me like what you feel comfortable, but like this, like, well, if the more you talk about it, like the more you can get help too.
Right.
So
Well, I talk about it with my daughter all the time. I was like, "Hey, you're gonna eat that? Let's go see how your poop is afterwards. Let's see how you feel." Like
yeah,
it's a
sure.
very great science test. We're gonna figure it out real quick.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
like I had it in my to-do list. It'd be to make like a little magnet for like what your poop is telling you. I feel like that would be super helpful because most
Yes.
guys that go into the bathroom, they're like, yeah, I just have diarrhea and I'm in there for 20 minutes. Not normal.
Hmm.
That is,
Right. They're like this. I just poo like 6 times a day. I was like, That's a lot. Like that's a lot." Or like I poo once a week. I'm like, whoa, like hang
that's
on. Like,
wild. That's
yeah.
wild.
Oh yeah. I mean, truly. But yeah, I think, and it's also like how do people talk about it? Like you said, like with your daughter, like it's so great that you're like normalizing that for her. Like
Yeah.
you're not like, ew, this stinks. That's disgusting. Like you're like,
Yeah.
hey, this is cool. Like let's learn about your body, like which is like so important. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Emmy, like you just did like a really good poop. But how do you
Yeah.
feel? Like you feel good? Like that's awesome. Like it's like just the lingo around it. Like growing up was always like, ew, that's gross. Like don't look at it. Like
Okay.
I want to see that. Like where now it's like, no, like talk about it. It's so important.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the not talking about it thing is very interesting. And I wonder if it just came from a time where like they were in war and like there was bigger problems. Like, I don't want to hear about your poop.
I don't know. Or like,
I
yeah,
don't
or
I don't know.
like with women, is it just like women shouldn't be talking about it? Like it's not feminine to put, like, I'm like, I don't know where this like horrible like projection have started developing, or
Yeah.
like it's not, yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Well, I mean, I would say that is interesting because if you're not supposed to talk about your poop in front of guys, then like maybe you're not going to want to do that in front of your girlfriends or whatever it is. That's a tough. And but I would say when someone brings it up, they're like, "Oh, thank God. Like I've wanted to talk about this, but I
Yeah,
didn't know if it was possible."
right, right. Yeah. So it's like great. Like that's like one of the things I love is like being a listening ear and like providing like an opportunity to
Yeah.
talk. Like I think when people do get the opportunity, they're really appreciative. Like, and that's what keeps me going too. It's like I love like giving people the space to like talk about hard things and like be able to help them through that, because it's just like there's just not a lot of space to do that. Like in our world, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird, it's sad,
Well,
but
it was what when we were talking about this at Nature Buddies, you said that there's not a lot of influencers or you don't see a lot of information about it online. Why do you think that is?
I, I mean, I think it's like gaining. There are definitely some like bigger pelvic health therapists out there, like who are
Okay.
gaining traction, which is great. I think
Yeah.
like I don't know. I feel like I don't know how to answer this. I'm like, I feel like, I don't know. I'm trying to like, why, I guess the question is like, why are there not more people talking about it? I don't know. I think like maybe people are afraid of like getting feedback or judged, or
Right.
like, yeah, they don't want to like be criticized or anything like that because it is sensitive.
Right.
And I think it could also be like, triggering for some people, and like just want to be mindful of that. So like I think there's just like a lot to it that maybe people don't feel comfortable. But also I feel like there's a lot of like censoring of it too, like
Okay.
on Instagram. Like I feel like people don't say like certain words because like they're afraid that Instagram will like kick them off, or
Yeah.
like so like that there's maybe like a barrier too.
Yeah.
So
Well, there's one doctor that I follow, and now my anatomy class is going to fail me that I didn't take. But I think it was on uh clitoral mutilation or something of that, or um and it's only been like the last 10 years where there's actually been like proper understanding about surgeries down there and things of that nature. It just doesn't seem um like that information has been around for a while, so maybe that's why it's taking a while to get to the forefront.
yeah, that's true. And it's hard for people to hear that too, right? Like,
Yeah.
or even conceptualize that, like, because I think that's mostly happening in other countries. Like,
Right.
So yeah, yeah, it's hard to hear and like also hard for people to like come to terms with like they're like, oh yeah, I do have an issue with like urinating or like I didn't realize like I had like an unhealthy like this or
Yeah.
that. Like it's like there's like a process to like kind of come to peace to that or like realize they need to like work on it or you
So
know, there's a lot
at
to it.
at a basic level, as a man peering in, if sex isn't enjoyable and you're having urinary issues, like you jump or you're working out and you pee, is it safe to say if anything's different than before you had the child, you should go get things checked out, or is that the new baseline that you're talking about post having birth?
Would you like, are you saying like, should you
I
still get
I
checked out if that's the
I jumped
status?
around on
So
that question. Um,
like, what?
as far as like the bare minimum, if things changed from before you gave birth,
Yeah,
you should go and get checked and get some help out because there's someone there that can, like yourself, can bring you back to either your old baseline or figure out what your new baseline should be.
I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, like, I'm sure, there's people out there who maybe would have like a little bit of issues like early on, but then like as time goes on, like time heals and like
Okay.
they're, that's very possible. But I think like it's always a win if you can go in and like get more information about your body,
Okay.
like and have some tools.
I'm gonna clip this part, and instead of me just telling my female friends about it, I'll be like, "Hey, I had a podcast. If you have any of these things, right, just go go see somebody."
You're like, just there's not a, I mean, like, there's just like not a situation where it wouldn't be helpful. That's like the
Right.
biggest thing. Like, I think, like, yeah, like you're always gonna you're gonna win. You're either gonna learn, okay, I'm good, or you're
Yeah.
gonna learn, oh, I do have some things to work on. Like, let me get some tools.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, like, it's a win-win. So,
Love
yeah,
that. I feel
yeah.
like we've nailed this topic pretty good. As far as if you don't mind talking about your process, did you go see somebody? Like, how was your process going through the birth and then figuring things out afterwards?
Yeah. So I think my process was like, I'm lucky. It was really pretty smooth.
Yeah.
I mean, there were definitely hiccups. Like, um, I had pain, well, because I had like a tear, like
Okay.
if a baby comes out, like you could have a tear. So I had like a tear with my first,
Yeah.
and that like led to like pain with intimacy.
Yep.
So but for me, like I knew what I needed to do. Like, so I just did it. Like, so for like what that looks like is like, okay, well, is it like your scar isn't moving well? Is it
Okay.
your guarding? Is it like you're weak and your muscles are working too hard? Like, so like for me, it was more like I need to like get this scar moving
Okay.
because it's causing pain. Because like your body heals and puts scar
Yeah.
tissue down, and like that's great. That's what it should do. But then you need to teach it how to move with you and not against you. Because if it's like
Okay.
the scar locks down, but now it's not moving, like then that could be like pain generating because it's putting stress on the tissues that
Gotcha.
that-
I feel like that is if Jessica told me that portion of it, I'd be like I'm trying to understand here.
yeah,
And I,
yeah.
and I feel like that right there is a good not good, a phenomenal explanation of the why there's discomfort. And because I knew that there was some pain and I was like, look, come on. Well, like not really not my proudest moments, not my proudest moments.
Well, like you
Um
don't know. It's not your fault.
yeah,
Like nobody knows. This is what I'm
right.
saying. It's like
Yeah.
if somebody said, "Hey, you had a tear. Your scar might get restricted. It could cause pain with intimacy." You'd be like, "Okay, like let's get some tools for
Yeah.
that."
Yeah. And your husband knowing that this is your profession, how did he respond to that response or to that explanation? Because I feel like all right, you are the professional, like you're not just making things up here. Or was he
Yeah,
like,
no.
I don't believe you?
Oh gosh, no. Yeah, no. Well, and again, it's like it's just funny like how it comes full circle. Like I know myself and I like trust my like I trust what I know. Like I'm
Yeah.
not like don't I don't really I don't know, I don't doubt a lot. So like I was like, no, my scar is bad. My scar needs to be mobilized. Like we're gonna
Yeah.
do this. So like a lot, like it looks like different things for different people, but for me it was like we're not gonna be intimate until I mobilize my scar. Like,
Okay.
but you're gonna wait and I'm gonna mobilize my scar and then we can
Yeah.
do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's like super receptive and I feel like at the beginning, like he was kind of like, what are you doing? Like, what do you do for work? Like you're
Yeah.
treating pelvic floor. Like, what is that? Like, that's weird. Like, didn't really get it. But like now, especially like going through the pregnancies, he's like, oh, this is super important. Like he's fully like understands and like is receptive to anything I say.
Yeah.
So it's good. Yeah.
Well, I've loved this. We're definitely gonna have a part two at some point, but I'm
Oh,
gonna give you the last two questions that everyone gets.
oh, nice.
What's your definition of health? Not necessarily the dictionary definition, but what is health to you?
Oh, hmm. This is loaded. I think health to me is like a satisfying balance of like relaxation, self-care, and what else? Relaxation, self-care, and I don't know. I think that and just like a good balance. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't like I feel like you just have to find a balance and I feel like that gets missed like
Yeah.
especially in our like world. Like I see like where health goes sideways is like when people don't take time to like rest and like reset and like do something for themselves, like especially in like my patient population, like I'm like you like that's how you maintain your health. Like you don't
Okay.
run yourself into the ground, you know, like you take time for yourself and I feel like that gets missed and I feel like people often like don't give themselves the space or the permission to like do things for themselves. So like I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I'm in this like bubble now, like that. Like you need to prioritize yourself, like to be healthy. Like you just have to. Like you're not gonna be able to serve anyone else around you if you're not
Yeah.
taking care of yourself. Like yeah, that's like my biggest thing with that.
I like it.
Yeah.
So then what's something from your life that the people listening to the podcast would be able to take away as a positive?
Right. What's something from my life that people would take away as a positive? Um, I would say I think like if you find something that you're, you know, passionate about, like don't hesitate to like run with it, you know, run with it and like pursue it and like stay curious and like be open to learning. You know, I think like that'll take you farther than you would ever expect, you know, like
Yeah.
I never really thought I would be here like preaching about bowel, you know, like or like talking about pelvic health, but like it's like you're yeah, you just like lean into your curiosities and like roll with it because it's
Yeah.
like you never know where you're gonna go. So yeah, I think that's what I'd
Love it.
say.
Thanks so much for coming on the
Yeah,
podcast.
of course. Thanks for having me. This is really fun.
Absolutely.
All right.